Woozy here with NeoWorlder, and today we are going to be going over neural pathways and how to set them up in your commercial account. So in this first video, we're going to be looking at the OpenAI API key and how to connect it to your account. This is basically going to give your personas the ability to conversate, reason, and some other AI powered skills using that large language model. So to get started here, we're going to come up to our commercial account we just created, and we're going to go to the pathways section right here. And you can see this, the top one we're starting with is the OpenAI. I will have additional videos for Pinecone, Mailgun, and Twilio as well. But today, let's get started here. Okay, and step one here is we're going to go to platform.openai.com, and we are going to sign up for an account here. Quick note, make sure you're going to the platform and not just directly to ChatGPT for an account there. We will going to want the API access here. And just to kind of be clear there, even if you have a ChatGPT account, if you don't have a API platform account, you still will need to sign up for this here. Okay, I'm going to use one of my test emails here, and let's get started. Okay, this is a new one for me here, so we're going to sign up with the one-time code. Let me grab that from my email. Okay, I got my temporary code in my email, so let's continue. All right, let me just okay, let's finish creating our account. And we'll give us our organizational name real fast here. Okay, so organization name, we'll just call it Woo's Test Demo, and I just described myself as a hobbyist here, and let's create that organization. All right, I don't need anybody on my team yet, so we'll invite them later. And here we go, we're already at the point where we can create our first API key. So I'm going to call this my NeoWorlder commercial account key. And we'll just leave it in the default project. If you have multiple projects or if you're doing other things on there, you may want to separate that out. But if you're wanting to go from here, we can go ahead and just put that right in the default project, and we'll generate that key. All right, so it's automatically going to put in our first API key to test out here. But before we do that, let's just go ahead and continue on into the actual platform here. So this is a point where this API charge will charge you here. Depending on how much you're using, I'd recommend if you're just going to start with some basic testing, $5 should be plenty to get you kind of going on testing here. It kind of gives you a idea down here of kind of how many million input tokens you're kind of buying there for the 5. You can also set kind of limits on this monthly or auto recharge it as you go. You have all these options in here. So for now, I'm just going to say I'll buy credits later, and we'll come back to that. And let's get into the actual platform here. So from here, just get familiar. We're on the dashboard, and we are in our default project. Here's the account we just created here. And I'm going to first come right down to API keys here. And let's go ahead and just create a new one. Let's actually rename this one our NeoWorlder commercial account. And we'll create that key. All right, so key point here is once the screen comes up, this is the only time you're going to be able to grab this key here. I'm going to delete this one out right after this video here so it won't be active. That's another good thing to point out. When you are making these keys, you do want to make sure that you are the one that has control over and you don't give anybody else access to them. If they do, they can use this key and ring up your bill, and we don't want that. So once you've got your key, make sure it's securely stored. You enter it into the NeoWorlder site, and then just make sure you don't give it to anybody else here. So I'm going to go ahead and copy that, and let's go ahead and enter this right into our NeoWorlder commercial account. All right, so back on our commercial account in the pathways section here, and you can see I've now got that API key copied and pasted in there, and let's go ahead and save that. And now last step here, in order to make sure that that is still going to work for us, we will need to go ahead and top that off with some cash here. So let's come up to home, And let's go ahead and add in a few credits here. Again, a few things just to show here. From here, you can control kind of how much this is going to, cost you here. I would highly recommend doing this, especially when you're first starting off here. If you're just chit-chatting with a persona, it's not going to ring you up too much here. But if you're trying to do something like run a full business from it, it's good to have these limits and notifications just in case anything happens where it starts kind of really ramping you up. Or if something gets in a loop, you don't want to, kind of go crazy here. So I'll kind of show you where we're at here. So, sorry, that's not where I wanted to go. Let's go back to billing. And here we go. So under payment methods, we'll go ahead and we're going to add a credit card here. To do that, we're going to go to the billing overview page. Oh, sorry. It's add payment details here. I was looking for it there. All right. Let me add in my details here and save it. I'm going to kind of not show this on screen just so I don't show my credit card. But let me enter this in real fast. All right, and once you get your card added, it's going to kind of come to this configure payment screen. I'd recommend starting with just either $5 or $10 here, something cheap. And then I would recommend, you can leave off auto recharge if you really want to be careful here. If you do set it, I would recommend definitely having a monthly recharge limit on there. I'm going to put it in 30. This just stops it where if something got in a loop and started, or if somebody got your API key and started using it, that this could kind of cut it off at a certain number. So do highly recommend kind of adding those on there. And put it back up to 5 there, and we'll continue. Okay, so got my card on there, got our payment. Let's go ahead and confirm that. And thankfully after this, we should be pretty much ready. So we'll have our API key connected on our commercial account and our funds on our here, and we'll be ready to use them here. So we're good to go there, and let's go back and test that out real fast. Okay, and back here, and yeah, I was kind of acting like there's another step, but we're all good to go. So we're set up, we're saved, and our API key is connected, and we're basically ready to use it for whatever we're about to build or try out on our platform here. So that was a walkthrough of the OpenAI key.